Today, we are going to talk about the abduction and murder of Tiffany Nelson, a 9-year-old girl who vanished from her neighborhood in Augusta, Georgia, in 1994. Her remains were found 11 years later in a shallow grave, but her killer has never been caught. Who was Tiffany Nelson, and what happened to her on that fateful day? Tiffany Elizabeth Nelson was born on October 21st, 1984. She was described as a tomboy, a kid that would ride her bike around while wearing frilly, girly dresses. She spent most of her free time on that bike, riding around the neighborhood. Tiffany lived with her mother and didn't have a particularly close relationship with her father. So when her mother passed away in 1992, she went to live with her aunt Ora Parrish and 2 cousins along Augusta, Gaz Getson Drive. On June 6, 1994, summer vacation was in its infancy. School had let up the previous week, so this was the first Monday of the holiday. Tiffany woke up early that morning, spent some time with her Aunt Ora, and then set off on her bicycle. She was riding down a couple of blocks to a nearby Amoco convenience store gas station, where she could refill the air on her bike tires. She was last seen at that gas station at around 10:00 that morning. Just like that, she was gone. Her red 10-speed bicycle was gone as well. It has never been recovered or found. Tiffany was reported missing that day, with the police noting that she had been wearing blue and white denim shorts, a multicolored flower shirt, and blue and white Air Jordans. They also noted that she had a blemish-type scar under her right eye and a thin scar on her forehead, above her left eye. Police received a tip the following day, June 7th, that a boy had seen Tiffany in the back seat of a 2-door car driven by a white man in a hat. This alleged sighting happened on Barton Chapel Road, a few miles away from where Tiffany had gone missing. Tiffany's family has described the initial police response as less than enthusiastic, as the Millbrook Sturgis family experienced with the Millbrook twins 4 years prior. The police didn't really investigate any leads. By their own admission, they didn't even suspect any foul play. In fact, the very same investigator who handled the Millbrook investigation handled this case. Richard Roundtree, the current sheriff of Richmond County, has stated that he would have fired this detective if he worked under his command. His unwillingness to thoroughly investigate cases of missing Black girls has been covered in great detail on the Fall Line podcast's first season, as well as my 3 episodes about Danette and Jeanette Millbrook. Tiffany's case languished throughout the latter half of the 1990s and the first half of the 2000s. No leads were truly developed. The only exception being a repeat offender came up on police radar in 1999. He had been arrested for kidnapping and sexually assaulting another young girl in Augusta, but he was ruled out as a suspect in Tiffany's case after DNA testing. In 2005, Tiffany's case took a tragic turn. On March 25th, 2 men walking in a wooded area in Burke County, a neighboring county of Richmond County, stumbled upon a skull, several bones, and blue and white Jordan tennis shoes. Tiffany was wearing blue and white Jordan tennis shoes at the time of her disappearance. The remains were sent to a forensic lab for identification, and on April 7th, they were confirmed to belong to Tiffany Nelson. Her missing persons case became a homicide investigation. Gary Nicholson of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation told the True Citizen back when Tiffany's remains were found that investigators have poured through tips, but no suspects or persons of interest have been identified. We're following some leads, but nothing substantial yet. In the 16 years since Tiffany's case became a homicide investigation, police have been unable to uncover any substantial evidence or persons of interest in her murder. Who killed Tiffany Nelson? And why? Was she a victim of a random predator or someone she knew? Was she targeted because of her race, or her gender, or both? How did her body end up in Burke County, and who buried her there? These are some of the questions that haunt Tiffany's family and friends, who have been waiting for justice for over 2 decades. They hope that someone out there knows something and will come forward with the truth. Thank you for watching this episode of Crime Scene Mysteries. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious.